The space gradually became peaceful, and the space fragments vanished completely. Jiu Feng Knight and Luo Feng stood facing one another. "You just injured Pei Feng Knight, a universe overlord," said Jiu Feng Knight. "You were able to injure someone who's able to fully operate the third form of the true treasure armor on his body with his law comprehension. Impressive." "Impressive indeed. I'm just lucky," Luo Feng smiled. Generally, true treasures had different forms. For instance, his Shi Wu Wing had 3 forms, and with the user getting stronger, it could be better utilized. When Luo Feng tried to drive Star Tower, he could feel that the law engravings inside it were complex to the point of being incomprehensible. Thus, he couldn't even operate it at a minimum level, let alone make the best of it. Pei Feng Knight was a universe overlord, and that true treasure armor barely crossed the threshold of true treasures. He was indeed able to operate a true treasure in its third form, which was why he had only lost 20% of his godly body after a 5,500-mile-tall godly body exploded in front of him. Jiu Feng Knight shook his head and looked at Luo Feng. "It's because of your power. For what it's worth, I admire how you just blew up that enormous godly body. I'm not even in his league," Luo Feng said. "I didn't have other option." "Yes," Jiu Feng Knight said. "He indeed overpowers you to a large extent. After all, you're only undying, and your law comprehension can't even compare with him. He can wield the power of the same true treasure much better than you. I assume you're unable to make the best use of your true treasure wing?" "Yes." Luo Feng nodded. He had just started the second form of Shi Wu Wing. "Besides," Jiu Feng Knight continued, "he underestimated you in the first place and didn't even consider that you might be a contender. In the future, you might not even have the chance to self-destruct and hurt him." Luo Feng nodded. In the future, Pei Feng Knight might keep his distance from remote ocean body. As long as he was more than 60,000 miles away from the center of the explosion, the blast wouldn't be dangerous. And if Luo Feng was too close to Pei Feng Knight, he didn't dare detonate remote ocean body, as he was afraid that his original Earthling body would be injured as well. This time, his original Earthling body had been millions of miles away from the center of the explosion. Naturally, he hadn't been hurt at all. If, however, his original Earthling body had been in close quarters combat with Pei Feng Knight when he had detonated the remote ocean body, the original Earthling body would have been annihilated immediately, and Pei Feng Knight would have only suffered a few injuries. At that point, Pei Feng Knight would definitely have taken all the treasures left by Luo Feng's Earthling original body. "He'll be onto you after this," Jiu Feng Knight said. "He'll definitely turn this around. I'll tell you about him to make sure you won't be bullied by him in the future." Luo Feng listened carefully. "Pei Feng Knight has 2 true treasures," Jiu Feng Knight said. "One is a piece of armor, and the other is a blade. As his true treasure weapon is a blade, he devoted lots of his energies and time to close combat, and he created incredible blade techniques. His fighting power, together with his blade, can destroy lots of treasures in one strike." Luo Feng was stunned. "You must have been able to resist his soul technique if you survived that fight," Jiu Feng Knight said. "As for some distant attacking skills, I'm sure you can handle them as well. The only thing you need to beware of is his close quarters combat techniques. They're his trump card. In close quarters combat, he can fully utilize his true treasure blade. Even if you have true treasure armor, your godly body won't be able to withstand the shock wave." Jiu Feng Knight shook his head solemnly. "Unless you have a flying palace type true treasure. Is the combination of his fighting techniques and true treasure blade really that powerful?" Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. "Can it really destroy a treasure with a single strike? Does that mean my ancient boat galaxy would be at risk?" "There are different levels of treasures," Jiu Feng Knight said. "Some top-tier treasures and set treasures are already close to true treasures, and they are difficult to destroy, whereas some ordinary treasure armors or weapons will be fragile." Luo Feng nodded. Ancient Boat Galaxy was a top-tier treasure and was as valuable as true treasures. Besides, it had belonged to an inborn beast god known as Wine Master before. It should be solid. "Remember, be mindful of his close quarters combat techniques," Jiu Feng Knight said. He nodded. "All right, let's go back." "Okay." Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng knew he didn't want to reveal his trump cards. He had only utilized the second move of Star Map when fighting Bark Mirror Emperor. And when he was fighting Pei Feng Knight, he could have hidden in Ancient Boat Galaxy and let Masha Body perform his talent technique domain to escape. However, if he had done so, he would have revealed 2 of his deepest secrets. Ancient Boat Galaxy and the Talent Technique Domain. Only a few in the universe, including 9 Remoteness Master and Chaos City Leader, knew about Domain. It was a vital trump card for him, as he could almost certainly escape from any enemies weaker than Universe Masters. Hence, he wouldn't use it unless his life was seriously threatened. As for the remote ocean body, at the height of more than 5,500 miles, he could recover it in no time. After all, he should at least show some real power. In the open-air square of the World of Glory, there was hustle and bustle among the heirs. What's the result of the battle? Bark Mirror Emperor is such a sore loser. He was the one who wanted a live broadcast in the first place, but he turned it off after realizing that he was at a disadvantage. It must be Bark Mirror Emperor who lost. That's right. He lost without a doubt. The heirs were upset by Bark Mirror Emperor. He had been exceedingly confident and had wanted all the heirs to watch the fight, presuming he would crush Blade River Emperor. It had indeed excited many heirs. The news spread across the universe, drawing attention from lots of supreme beings. Little did they expect Bark Mirror Emperor to cut off the feed halfway through the fight. Look, it's Blade River Emperor! All the heirs in the square looked towards the portal. A shadow appeared. It was Blade River Emperor. Luo Feng looked at the heirs in the distance. He saw his teacher True Yen Knight and his friends, including Cha Man Emperor. His voice resounded on the square as he said, "Hi all! I've already finished the battle with Bark Mirror Emperor. Here is a clip of the battle." A blurry light shot out from Luo Feng's wrist guard, and a 3D virtual projection showed up in the sky of the square. The clip began at the point when Bark Mirror Emperor and Blade River Emperor met. The fight was fierce, but Bark Mirror Emperor was completely suppressed. Finally, at the end of the fight, Bark Mirror Emperor blew himself up in order not to be enslaved. It was a Universe Knight level battle, yet both of them were undying. One was a special life form while the other was a timeless and peerless talent of the human race. But to everyone's surprise, the result was that the human won, and the special life form was left with no choice but to destroy himself. Incredible! He died! Self-destruction! The heirs were astounded. They had already reasoned that Bark Mirror Emperor must have lost after watching the first half of the battle, but they didn't expect Bark Mirror Emperor to be so crushed so badly that he died. The square was filled with a sense of shock. The consensus was that only a Universe Knight could kill Bark Mirror Emperor. The heirs watched Luo Feng as he walked to where the heirs of Hong Alliance gathered. He sat beside his teacher True Yen Knight. Luo Feng glanced around and saw a shadow afar. Pei Feng Knight. Luo Feng frowned. Pei Feng Knight was also watching the video clip. He was visibly terrified to know that Blade River Emperor was making the footage of the battle public. Luo Feng could practically read his thoughts. Is he going to show the footage of him injuring me? Beings like Pei Feng Knight cared about their reputations a lot. Pei Feng Knight immediately connected to the World of Glory with his consciousness. All good, all good. Pei Feng Knight was relieved. He only showed the footage of the battle between him and Bark Mirror Emperor. Pei Feng Knight suddenly turned around. While Luo Feng looked at him, they exchanged eye contact. Hung! Pei Feng Knight's eyes glinted aggressively. He moved his lips without making a sound, but Luo Feng could tell clearly what he had just said. Blade River, let's see who'll rescue you next time. I'll defeat you again next time. Luo Feng also moved his lips without making a sound. Hung! Pei Feng Knight vanished. Luo Feng grinned and looked back at the open-air square. All the heirs were amazed by the footage of the battle, and they all recorded it and transferred it back to the powers they belonged to. Likewise, the video was transferred to Hong Alliance and the human race. If I want to be a supreme being in the universe, I need to be a supreme being within the human race first, thought Luo Feng. Many Universe Knights within the human race are bitter because I made my settlement on the mountainside of Thunder Island. Words are useless, I need to prove myself with my records. Luo Feng smiled. Universe Knights like Nine Blade Knight will get to watch the footage soon. He made the footage public, as he wanted to prove his power with his record, to prove he could not only rival ordinary Universe Knights, but that he also killed them. The mountainside of Thunder Island was boundless. There were only 12 servants in Luo Feng's palaces, and they were all carefully selected sector lords. During the 80,000 years when Luo Feng had created the ultimate technique star map, Luo's family had developed into a true superfamily with its huge sum of resources. It was a top-tier superfamily in every aspect: members, training system, and a number of great beings. There was even a large group of sector lords. It was normal to train someone to be a sector lord, and it was easier with adequate sources. Babata had been confident that he could raise Luo Feng to be a sector lord, and his resources were nothing compared to what Luo's family had. 2 sector lords greeted Luo Feng as he walked in the hallway. Family master! Family master! Their eyes gleamed. As Luo Feng's descendants, they worshipped him. You can walk out first, Luo Feng said as he quickly walked out of the hallway and arrived at the square in front of the palace, in front of which was a cliff. Yes, sir! The 2 sector lords walked out. Luo Feng looked out into the distance. A shadow flew toward him. It was Tru Yen Knight. Teacher! Luo Feng shouted, smiling. Luo Feng! Tru Yen Knight landed on a rock. Please, teacher, take a seat. Luo Feng walked along the path beside him. There were several pavilions on a square made of rocks, including exquisite wooden desks and chairs. They sat face to face with each other. You came here to pick me up immediately after I sent you an email, Tru Yen Knight said, looking pleased. You're such a good disciple of mine. I shall respect my teacher, Luo Feng said. Ha ha! Stop acting. Tru Yen Knight laughed. I know you want to know how other universe knights reacted, don't you? You're so perceptive, teacher, Luo Feng answered. It had been 2 days since he fought Bark Mirror Emperor, and the footage had already spread throughout the human race. Many universe knights had watched the clip. It must have evoked strong reactions, because lots of universe knights had been dissatisfied before. Those same universe knights may have been amazed after watching the clip. Luo Feng felt good just imagining that. He wanted to see the look on those universe knights' faces. Luo Feng may not have cared about what ordinary life forms thought, but he did feel accomplished by dumbfounding those universe knights of the human race, many of whom had their own universe countries. Ha ha! I knew it! Tru Yen Knight guffawed. It never rains, but it pours. You never defended yourself when those universe knights were trashing you, yet you showed everyone the footage of you killing Bark Mirror Emperor. Luo Feng laughed as well. Well, just as you expected, those universe knights were all amazed, Tru Yen Knight said, excited. I don't know about others, but those same friends who asked me to tell you to leave the mountainside have now apologized to me. They wanted me to tell you how sorry they are. Sorry? Luo Feng was dazed. You proved yourself to have the power of a mid-tier universe knight by killing Bark Mirror Emperor, Tru Yen Knight exclaimed with amazement. You're so powerful, yet you're just undying. Those universe knights want to respect you, as you'll definitely be a universe overlord when you become a universe knight someday. No one wants to be your enemy. Luo Feng nodded. When you were weak, supreme beings would look down on you. But when you were as strong as they were or even manifested greater potential, they would apologize and try to befriend you. Luo Feng nodded. I've received quite a few congratulatory emails in the past 2 days, and lots of them came from universe knights. Universe knights like Ganwu Universe Master and Gai Knight, who were already close with Luo Feng, had sent emails to congratulate him immediately. Some universe knights Luo Feng had never met also sent him emails and told him that they would visit him a few days later. Of course, there were some universe knights who couldn't change their attitude instantly. Those were the ones who voiced their discontent the loudest. Meet as many as possible and be friends with them. Tru Yen Knight smiled. I'll stay here for the next couple of days. Some powerful universe knights won't take me seriously, but they value you a lot. I'll take advantage of that. Suit yourself? Luo Feng smirked. It's my honor to be taken advantage of by you. Luo Feng's palaces were alive with activity. Many universe knights had visited his place. When the news that Luo Feng killed Bark Mirror Emperor was made public, it meant Luo Feng entered a new circle, the circle of universe knights. Great beings valued each other's power. Though Luo Feng was greatly valued by his own race, the universe knights within his race wouldn't associate with him voluntarily. To them, Luo Feng was a mere talent, and he was yet to be a great being. Whereas now Luo Feng was already a great being, and he might get even stronger in the future. It was likely that he would become a pillar of the human race in the future. Gu Luan Universe Country Master, Hebei Knight, Golden Axe Knight, Luo Feng muttered, looking around. So many universe knights and universe country masters. In total, 163 supreme beings have visited here in the past few days. Family Master is so mighty. The 2 sector lords transmitted their voices. They were exhilarated that they could actually meet those legendary universe country masters and universe knights. These were individuals whom lots of undying fighters would never be able to lay eyes on. Luo Feng, True Yen Knight, and Nine Flames Universe Master were chatting loudly. Luo Feng turned around. A flash of light was flying toward them. Nine Flames Universe Master also turned around. Another Universe Knight? A man in a fiery cape appeared. He wore a mystical and alluring smile. True Yen Knight stood up. It's Gui Knight. Gui Knight, said Nine Flames Universe Country Master, standing up and greeting him. Brother. Luo Feng walked out. Gui Knight was the second disciple of Primal Chaos City Leader, and he had always served Primal Chaos City Leader. He was definitely one of the closest to Primal Chaos City Leader. His power was legendary, even a tiny portion of it could amaze many. He was the mouth and tongue of Primal Chaos City Leader who relied on him to deliver messages and execute orders. So lively here. Gui Knight looked at Nine Flames Universe Country Master. Nine Flames Universe Country Mazer, I didn't interject on your conversation, did I? Not at all. Luo Feng, True Yen, and I were just having a casual chat. Nine Flames Universe Country Master said. Gui Knight nodded and smiled. Good. Because I have an important matter. Huh! Luo Feng looked to Gui Knight. Brother, Gui Knight said, I'm here at our teacher's request to tell you that the application for you to join the Supreme Council of our race has been approved, and from now on, you'll be qualified to participate in the Supreme Council. The Supreme Council? Luo Feng was thrilled. He had expected that he would be accepted once he demonstrated his power, but he was still overjoyed. Finally, he was admitted into the ranks of the seniors of the human race. True Yen Knight smiled. Congratulations, Luo Feng. You too, as teacher and student, got admitted into the Supreme Council together. Nine Flames Knight laughed. It'll be a wonderful story for our human race to tell. Gui Knight continued. Brother, though you're qualified to participate in the Supreme Council, meetings are rarely held. Every time it is held, the Council discusses matters that are vital to us humans. However, based on what I know, there will soon be a Supreme Council meeting. The virtual universe system should send you a notification shortly. Oh? Expectations flashed in Luo Feng's eyes. So soon? Yes. Nine Flames Universe Country Master became solemn. Yes. There shall soon be one. Luo Feng, this Supreme Council meeting is all important. What is it about? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. It will be held very soon, and you'll learn all the details then. Nine Flames Universe Country Master said. Of course, this is only my speculation. It may not be about any specific matter. Luo Feng looked at Nine Flames Universe Country Master and Gui Knight, perplexed. True Yen Knight was also confused. Gui Knight and Nine Flames Universe Country Master left without elaborating on the Supreme Council meeting of the human race. Luo Feng and True Yen Knight didn't ask any further questions, as the meeting would be held in the near future. A message from the world of glory? Said Luo Feng. Luo Feng's consciousness left the virtual universe and connected to the world of glory, where he received quite a few messages instantly. Some of them were from the heirs in the Hong Alliance, while some were from the system of the world of glory. Blade River Emperor, you're an exceptional heir of the Ancestral God School, said one message. You've proven your power with your records, and your records have attracted the attention of a beast god of the Ancestral God School. In the near future, Thunder Beast God of the Ancestral God School will arrive on Bauhinia Island in the flesh and bestow you a valuable in public. Luo Feng was dazed by the message. Thunder Beast God would bestow him a valuable? In public? What happened to Zhu Chong Emperor will finally happen to me, Luo Feng realized. He was thrilled. I remember that Bark Mirror Emperor wasn't conferred any true treasures, but Zhu Chong Emperor was bestowed 2 true treasures. One of the 8 beast gods will arrive on Bauhinia Island and give me the valuable personally. Luo Feng was both stunned and exhilarated by the news. Inside Luo Feng's palace on Bauhinia Island, knowing that the Ancestral God School was about to publicly bestow him a valuable, Luo Feng stayed on Bauhinia Island and waited patiently. Thunder Beast God is going to arrive here himself and bestow you a valuable? True Yen Knight stood up abruptly and opened his eyes wide. You're not kidding, are you? How could I kid about this, teacher? Luo Feng said. It'll happen soon. True Yen Knight stroked his hair and walked around the hall. He frowned and murmured. If one of the 8 beast gods actually arrives here himself and puts up such pageantry, he's at least going to give you a true treasure. But it doesn't feel right. Though the Ancestral God School is the greatest superpower in the universe, it won't just throw away a true treasure randomly like that. What do you mean by throw away, teacher? Luo Feng asked, smiling. Shu Chong Emperor was bestowed with 2 true treasures. As for me, it's okay for me to get at least 1, right? Tru Yen Knight shook his head. You're not the same as Shu Chong Emperor. Not the same? Said Luo Feng. Luo Feng was dazed. He thought the power he manifested was at Shu Chong Emperor's level. Besides, both of them were sub-members of the Ancestral God School. What was the difference? Shu Chong Emperor is a special life form, said Tru Yen Knight. He doesn't belong to any other power, and hence, he belongs to the Ancestral God School completely. Whereas you are firstly a member of Hong Alliance, then a sub-member of the Ancestral God School. Bark Mirror Emperor, who is admitted by the Northern Territory Alliance, was never given any true treasures by the Ancestral God School. Luo Feng suddenly understood. The Ancestral God School is the greatest power in the universe. Tru Yen Knight went on. Though it doesn't fight for anything, it doesn't value the great beings of other powers as much as it does its own members. Bark Mirror Emperor is most loyal to the Northern Territory Alliance. You're most loyal to the Hong Alliance, the human race. Shu Chong Emperor didn't join any other powers, so he is only loyal to Ancestral God School. Tru Yen Knight looked at Luo Feng. I've collected information on lots of exceptional heirs, and I found out that only those who are 100% loyal to the Ancestral God School can receive the best. If one belongs to another power, he won't be treated the same as those who show complete loyalty. Luo Feng nodded. It made perfect sense. If pressed to choose between the Ancestral God School and the human race, there's no doubt that you'll stand with the humans, Tru Yen Knight said. That's why the Ancestral God School won't grant you much, even if they want you to be part of them. However, they did invite Thunder Beast God to come personally. It would be insulting to him if he gave you a mere treasure. It's got to be a true treasure. Tru Yen Knight paused, then added, which baffles me. Luo Feng nodded. He would stand with the human race without a doubt. As for the Ancestral God School, he was indeed not faithful to it, even after knowing that they would bestow him a valuable. He stood in solidarity with the human race. For what it's worth, said Tru Yen Knight, looking at Luo Feng. Apparently, the Ancestral God School highly values you. In light of that, they're willing to give you a valuable even knowing that you're with the humans. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. Don't expect too much, Tru Yen Knight said. Although I think it'll be a true treasure, the Ancestral God School surely won't be too generous. I'll just have to wait for it, Luo Feng said. Luo Feng looked at Tru Yen Knight and thought that if the valuable given by the Ancestral God School was not useful to him, he would give it to teacher Tru Yen. Days passed, and Luo Feng continued waiting on Bauhinia Island. While he was waiting, Luo Feng familiarized himself with the valuables he got from Bark Mirror Emperor. Inside the World Ring. Haha! The Northern Territory Alliance paid a huge price to rope Bark Mirror Emperor. Luo Feng's original earthling body was wearing golden armor and a bizarre shape. It was covered with weird beast engravings, which did not belong to any one of the beast gods. It was the true treasure armor. As soon as Luo Feng put it on, the information about the armor was sent to him instantly. The true treasure armor was named Golden King Armor, and it had 3 forms. The first form could weaken the power of a material attack to 1% of its original power. The second form could weaken the power of a material attack to 1/1000th of its original power. The third form could weaken the power of a material attack to 1/10,000th of its original power. If the armor couldn't withstand the attack, it wouldn't be able to effectively weaken the power of the attack, and if the attacking power was too strong, it wouldn't be able to weaken it at all. When the user was fighting a Universe Knight, even the third form of the armor could only weaken the attacking power by half. For Universe Masters, these ordinary true treasures were not useful at all. As for beings like Sushan Ke, they could destroy an ordinary true treasure easily. Those Universe Masters don't care much about ordinary true treasures, but they are earnestly desired by Universe Knights. Luo Feng studied the ancient armor he wore. I'm yet to have the power to rival Universe Masters, so this golden armor is invaluable, Luo Feng exclaimed with thrill. No wonder they all want true treasures! He finally understood why Pei Feng Knight had only been injured when his remote ocean body exploded in front of him. He had relied on the true treasure armor in its pinnacle form. I wonder which armor is better, mine or Pei Feng Knight's, Luo Feng thought. Bark Mirror Emperor was wearing this golden armor. Fortunately, I have the true treasure star map, and I combined the power of 520 stars, which multiplied their power. Star map and the golden armor neutralized each other, and that was how Bark Mirror Emperor died. Luo Feng looked in the distance and saw a gigantic beast. It was the golden horned beast. I'll have the original earthling body wear the golden armor, Luo Feng thought. And when I get the force armor in the future, I'll have the golden horned beast wear it. The golden armor was different from force armor. The golden armor only had defending power, yet the force armor could derive soldier armor, general armor, and king armor, which meant force armor had enormous godly power. In Luo Feng's plan, his original earthling body followed the spiritual force leader path, so he only needed the golden armor. Golden horned beast did close quarters combat, and hence force armor could be fully utilized on the golden horned beast. Luo Feng had acquired quite a few valuables from Bark Mirror Emperor, and 2 of them suited Luo Feng the best. One was golden king armor, and the other was a set treasure called Swallowing Claws. This was comprised of 4 claw gloves that Bark Mirror Emperor had worn on his claws. Now, Golden Horned Beast wore the set treasure. When he utilized the set, the power of the 4 gloves would be transferred to 1, making its power surge. Bark Mirror Emperor had some other treasures, but they were useless to Luo Feng. The precious materials used to recover godly bodies were meaningless to Luo Feng, as he had the remote ocean. Luo Feng waited for the arrival of Thunder Beast God while familiarizing himself with the golden armor and the swallowing claws. 11 days after he received the email from the Ancestral God's School, a terrific power arrived in the sky over Bauhinia Island. The power was so strong that it was superior to that of the guarding beast god on Bauhinia Island. The heirs flew out of their palaces. "Thunder Beast God is arriving?" True Yen Knight said, flying out immediately. Island Luo Feng's palace, Masha Body sat with his legs crossed, and the original earthling body was still familiarizing himself with the golden armor. When the power arrived, Masha Body was thrilled. The original earthling body flew out of the world ring. "He finally came," said Luo Feng. He took a deep breath, stepped out of the door, and flew into the sky. In the sky over Bauhinia Island stood more than 100 million heirs. Luo Feng and True Yen Knight stood side by side with each other. Hong! Long! Long! Bolts of lightning filled the sky and covered 5-colored Aurora Lake. An enormous shadow was dimming in the lightning. This figure was the source of the power. Hung! A loud snort was heard. Power surged, and all the heirs in the sky dove down. Even Universe Knight heirs couldn't resist the force. Slowly, the enormous shadow flew down and showed its true face. He was covered with cyan hair, and each strand of hair looked like a whip of a thunder god. His 3 claws seemed to step on and suppress all of space, and his partially opened wing churned the lightning above him. His most striking features were his eyes. His eyes were like oceans. The eyes of thunder. Nobody dared exchange eye contact with him. "Majestic," said Luo Feng. After only a glimpse, he felt that the terrific being in the sky was like a part of universe origin law. It's said that becoming a beast god means merging with the law, but the guarding beast god is not as powerful as this. Will becoming an actual beast god change one's foundation? None of the heirs could resist the power. But it wasn't because of the sheer power, it was the arrival of the universe origin law. "I am Thunder Beast God." His sound was like thunder, resounding across the entire Bauhinia Island. One of the 8 beast gods' heir, Blade River Emperor. Intangible power enveloped Luo Feng, and he rose into the sky. The heirs on the ground looked at Blade River Emperor in shock. Now, they all understood that the arrival of Thunder Beast God was for the human, Blade River Emperor. So, this is the control over space and time, thought Luo Feng. He sensed that the intangible power enveloping him was neither space nor time, but a force that was superior to both. Blade River Emperor rose up gradually. At that moment, he was like the sun coming out, attracting attention from all the heirs. Thunder Beast God looked down with his eyes of thunder. His eyes glinted with friendliness, and the power enfolding Luo Feng vanished, dazing Luo Feng. Thunder Beast God opened his mouth and started to talk. "Blade River," Thunder Beast God said. Luo Feng gave a salutation in the sky. "Beast God," he said. "Your power, your improvement, and your will all satisfy me," Thunder Beast God said. He looked down and concentrated on Luo Feng. "I'll bestow you a valuable." Hua! Almost all the heirs down on the ground were thrilled and couldn't help talking among themselves. "It's indeed a public bestowal. Thunder Beast God arrived here himself to bestow a valuable. It has to be a true treasure. Why else would Thunder Beast God be here? Blade River Emperor is so lucky that he's going to get a true treasure again." The heirs were all excited, and Thunder Beast God didn't stop their discussions. He was happy to see other heirs jealous. "What's all the fuss about?" said one heir. If you could kill Bark Mirror Emperor as an undying fighter, the Ancestral God School would also think highly of you and bestow you with a valuable. Blade River Emperor is at the same level as Shu Chong Emperor, who was given a valuable in public before. I'll train myself. Perhaps someday I can have the same treatment. Luo Feng couldn't hear the discussions on the ground. Neither did he want to hear them. He was looking forward to the true treasure with exhilaration. Thank you, Beast God. Luo Feng saluted him. Keep up your hard work. Thunder Beast God's voice rumbled. Meanwhile, a gigantic ball of lightning showed up in front of him. The ball had a diameter of tens of thousands of miles, and it flew toward Luo Feng like a meteor. The lightning vanished as the light ball dove down. When it dropped to Luo Feng, the lightning completely disappeared, leaving only an ancient mirror with a diameter of hundreds of miles. The mirror was round and golden, emitting golden light from its surface. It stopped moving directly in front of Luo Feng. Luo Feng looked at the giant mirror in front of him, perplexed. A mirror? Luo Feng blinked. I believe it will be of good use to you, Thunder Beast God said, looking down. Each of his eyes was larger than the mirror. Take it. Yes, Luo Feng answered respectfully. He stored the ancient mirror in his world ring. As for studying the valuable, Luo Feng decided to do it after the Beast God departed. After all, Beast Gods were of high status in the Ancestral God School. Thunder Beast God smiled and said, Don't disappoint me, Blade River. Hong! Thunder Beast God disappeared, and so did the intangible power. Everything on Bauhinia Island was back to how it had been, and all the heirs on the ground were quickly engaged in heated discussions about what had just happened. Many heirs of other races rushed to try to talk to Luo Feng. Congratulations, Blade River Emperor. Congratulations on getting another true treasure, Blade River Emperor. Luo Feng smiled and went back to his palace immediately. He didn't want to talk to other great beings. This baffled them. What is that mirror like valuable? Asked one heir as Luo Feng left. I don't know, replied another. I've seen some mirror-type true treasures used to aid illusion attacks. Blade River Emperor is proficient in spiritual force weapons. Why would the Ancestral God School give him a valuable to aid illusion attacks? Don't make random assumptions. Perhaps only Blade River Emperor knows what it is used for. Hustle and bustle filled Bauhinia Island, and the news that Thunder Beast God had arrived on the island and personally bestowed Luo Feng with a valuable had quickly spread. At the same time, Northern Territory Alliance got the news. A white-haired, four-hoofed being walked into the area and said, Haha, the Ancestral God School has been using the same techniques since the beginning of the universe. They immediately started to draw Blade River Emperor to their side after seeing how excellent he is. Wu Pei Feng, did Bark Mirror Emperor come here before? Yes, teacher, Pei Feng Knight said as he followed him. Bark Mirror Emperor did come here before, and he stood on the square in front of my palace. When? The white-haired and four-hoofed being asked. 3 years ago, Pei Feng Knight answered. Okay. The white-haired and four-hoofed being walked slowly through the area and stopped on a square in front of a floating palace. Pei Feng Knight followed respectfully. Leave me first, as I'll turn back time, the white-haired and four-hoofed being said. Don't be in my range. Yes. Pei Feng Knight's eyes gleamed. Pei Feng Knight flew to a distant place like a beam of light and looked toward his teacher, full of expectations. Though he was a universe overlord, he had only witnessed universe masters performing the turning back time technique once before. Turning back time could injure universe masters, and if a universe master was severely injured, enemies could take advantage of the chance to kill him. This was why universe masters preferred to perform it in secret, unless they trusted the witnesses completely or the chance was small that it would backfire. Howl! 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 The white-haired and four-hoofed being growled and looked around calmly. Who? The time and the space around him started to go backward. It was like a movie being rewound at a rapid rate. Many heirs came here on the square. All the great beings were flying backward, even speaking backward. Time was quickly being turned backward. It all seemed like a strange illusion. So, time suddenly stopped, and so did the scenes before them. Bark Mirror Emperor was talking to Pei Feng Knight in the scene when time had paused. That's me, Pei Feng Knight said, looking at the paused scene from afar. It was Bark Mirror Emperor standing with him. Everything was illusory in the space and time affected by turning back time. Only the white-haired and four-hoofed being was real. Bark Mirror Emperor, said the white-haired and four-hoofed being, looking at Bark Mirror Emperor. Come, my child! The white-haired, four-hoofed being whispered, and an intangible power quickly put Bark Mirror Emperor under its protection. Go back. Hong! Everything started to be restored. It was like a coiled spring. At some point, it would spring back. The universe was able to recover itself, and after a universe master turned back time, the universe would reverse it. Every point in time was in the past for the universe and should not exist at present. The universe would bite back if someone tried to break this rule. Bark Mirror Emperor screamed. Ethereal power enveloped him continuously. The white-haired and four-hoofed being watched calmly. He was protecting Bark Mirror Emperor and transferring the backlash of the universe to himself. He was a universe master, and thus he was strong enough to resist such power. Bark Mirror Emperor uttered heart-rending cries, overcome with agony. The universe kept biting back. The power could easily kill Bark Mirror Emperor. Reversing time and resurrection were against universe law, which would be punished by the universe. However, universe masters volunteered to bear such punishment. After a short while, everything was back to normal, but Bark Mirror Emperor now stood on the square, looking around in confusion. What happened? Asked Bark Mirror Emperor. Teacher, Pei Feng Knight said, flying toward Bark Mirror Emperor. The white-haired and four-hoofed creature nodded and looked at Bark Mirror Emperor. It's done, he said. Bark Mirror Emperor, you've been resurrected. Do not forget that you have died once. I have died once. Bark Mirror Emperor was dazed. Suddenly, all the memories flooded his mind. It was him! It was him! Blade River Emperor! Bark Mirror Emperor's eyes glinted with bitterness and madness. He quickly noticed that something wrong. My true treasures, where are my true treasures? The white-haired and four-hoofed being looked down at Bark Mirror Emperor and said, Bark Mirror Emperor, my job was only to protect you when I reserved the time. I won't bring a true treasure back. It would cost more than obtaining 10 more new true treasures. I'll only resurrect you. Those true treasures and ordinary treasures you had are all gone. After he was done, he disappeared. Pei Feng Knight gave a salutation. Thank you, teacher.